This is SportsCentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto on the Digital SportsCentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And it's hard to tell from where I am currently, but I am in Montreal. But don't worry, the secret location will pay off with content later in the week. You're just gonna have to trust me on that one. And just a reminder, we're gonna be bringing you shows all the way up to the Canadian Grand Prix Sunday, a race you can watch on TSN. And later in the show, we'll be combining the world of F1 and Montreal bagels. Yes, we've done bagels before and we'll do bagels again. But we gotta start on the hard court, because Game 3 of the NBA Finals shifts to Indy tonight. And after the Game 1 shocker, things sort of returned to normal in Game 2, with a commanding OKC win to even the series at 1. And while Shea wasn't at his best in Game 1, despite the fact that he dropped 38, he was fully MVP Shea in Game 2. And through 2 games, he's made some history, as his 72 points through his first 2 career Finals games is the most all-time, as he passed Allen Iverson by a single point and Michael Jordan by 3. For Indiana, any concern about Tyrese Halliburton's health was put to rest yesterday, as he was reportedly dealing with, quote, a lower leg thing. Like whatever that means. I was dealing with a lower leg thing this morning when I got one of those cramps. You know the ones. Maybe he just needs a banana. But Halliburton said he was fine and will be ready for the game tonight. The Thunder are 5-point road favorites tonight in Game 3, with the total set at 228.5. And we'll have plenty more on betting angles later in the show with Wesley Cheng. To the ice, and through 3 games of the Stanley Cup Final, we still have no idea who's going to lift the trophy. But there's another trophy where the race is even more wide open, and that's the quest for the Conn Smythe. So today we're going to give you the full rundown on where things stand for the playoff MVP. Kicking things off, we've got the reigning Conn Smythe winner, Connor McDavid, who is once again having a strong postseason for Edmonton, and he currently leads the NHL in playoff points. And if the Oilers are able to come back and take the cup this year, then it seems inevitable that he'll win his second Conn Smythe, which would make him just the 4th player in NHL history to go back-to-back Conn Smythes. And weirdly, the only one to do it not playing for a team from Pennsylvania, considering 3 with Crosby, Lemieux, and Perron. But it'll be a different story if the Oilers fall short again. Because while McDavid's having another strong postseason, it's not quite the record-breaking run we saw last year. So if the Oilers do fall short, all eyes turn to Sam Bennett, who is having one of the most well-rounded postseasons in recent memory. He leads the playoffs in goals with 14, and has already set an NHL playoff record by scoring 12 of them on the road, including 3 already in Edmonton. But his physicality has been just as impressive, as he's recorded a whopping 97 hits in these playoffs, and that isn't far off the all-time record. So if the Panthers can clinch back-to-back Stanley Cup titles, then we won't be surprised if Bennett takes home the extra hardware. He's currently the favorite on FanDuel at plus 115, with McDavid right behind him at plus 220. And then after that, it opens up with Brad Marchand at 7-1, Officer Bob at 8-1, and Leon Draisaitl at plus 1100. Obviously, I want the Oilers to win, so I want it to be Connor McDavid. Now joined by our gambling guy, Wes Cheng. Great to see you, Wes.
What's happening, Marissa?
Okay, Wes, we've talked about it a ton, but let's put it into action in the form of a bet. These finals feature 4 Canadians, including 3 in the starting lineups. Give us a Canadian-themed bet or parlay for tonight.
I'll give you a prop on SGA, not as often discussed. I like him to go over 1.5 steals, which is at a reasonable price on FanDuel. Offensively, obviously, as talented as they come, but defensively, he's not a liability whatsoever. He's actually 2nd in the league in total steals, only behind Dyson Daniels. Look at the way the Pacers have tried to attack him all series. They involve him in every action, try to hunt mismatches. He's responded by getting 7 steals over these first 2 games. Over the postseason, he's played 18 games. He's covered this prop 12 times. I don't expect Indiana to change their strategy. They're going to keep trying to drain him on the defensive end. This is the way you capitalize.
Okay, let's have your best bet for Game 3.
I like Tyrese Halliburton to go over his scoring prop, which is right around even money on FanDuel. Just look at the first 2 games of these finals. He hasn't been at the aggression level that we've seen in some of his best games over the playoffs. And then OKC's done a really good job taking away their fast break transition offense. That means more half-court sets. That's where Hallie has to take more initiative, looking for his own shot, setting up his teammates for better shots later on. He's had 0 free throw attempts during these finals. He averages 3.5 during the other 3 rounds. But the stat that I love the most, Indiana's lost 4 times these playoffs. In the bounce back games after, Halliburton's averaged a 9-point lift in all 4 of those contests. He had 17 points in Game 2. In Game 3, on home court, I expect him to come out gunning, and this is a great buy low spot for him in these finals.
Wes Cheng, a pleasure as always.
Thanks for having me.
And if you want the ultimate second screen experience tonight for Game 3, be sure to check out TSN's YouTube, where Wes and the Basketball Island Boys will be doing a live stream for Game 3 with special guests Jack Armstrong and Javon Shepard, not Christopher Hine. You guys don't understand, okay? Chris Hine chose basketball over being with me at F1 week early. He missed out on food though, so it's his loss. Okay, as you've seen all show, we're here in Montreal for F1. And one thing Montreal does better than any other city in the world, in my opinion, is bagels. So we decided to check in with our friends once again as Sam Viator to combine the two things we love here, bagels and racing. Sam Viator is a legendary bagel shop with various locations in Montreal. It's so well known that even F1 drivers visit. Look. And with the Montreal Grand Prix in town, I stopped in to do some baking of my own. When you think Montreal, you think bagels, right? That's the first thing you think of, right, Nick?
That's the first thing I definitely think of.
Yeah, okay, obviously, because your life is bagels. But when the race comes to town, you know I need to combine both things. So what are we going to make today with bagels?
So I thought that this year we're going to pay homage to F1 itself. It's their 75th anniversary. They had that beautiful unveiling of the F1 75 in London earlier this year. And you and I are also going to build this little surprise for your viewers.
I'm a little nervous, but I've had my hands in your dough before. I don't think we could sell those ones, right?
I don't think so, but we're going to bake them anyways.
All right, let's go. Really gotta give it juice here. I'm like Kramer making bagels. I'm gonna get fired. Is this flat enough?
Yeah.
Good arm workout.
Imagine when you're rolling 44 every 5 minutes.
Okay, that's my hair, no big deal. I should put a hairnet on, probably. Let's see if it fits my giant head. Guys, I feel like it's kind of cute. Yeah, I'm into it. Luckily, I didn't have to make any actual dough. I started by carving the shape into the dough to make the 75 and the F1, and once those were done, I decorated them with poppy seeds and sesame seeds to make it stand out. I'm filling the holes, the empty space, with some white so you can see what I'm trying to spell. Okay.
What you cooking there?
You'll see. If you haven't guessed yet. After that, it was time for the oven. The F1 needs to hire us to make all of their food in the paddock, no? This doesn't take too long. Yeah! That's hot. Do I use these pieces as an opportunity to satisfy my insatiable lust for bagels? Possibly. But did you not have a good time? And just a reminder, you can watch the Canadian Grand Prix Sunday on TSN at 1:55 Eastern, 10:55 a.m. Pacific. That's it for me today. We'll see you back on the track tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific.